Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It's time for another review of another Oxford United game. Today, Oxford were at home to Fleetwood and wow, what a crazy few days it's been. As an Oxford United fan, obviously that game got cancelled very late in the day, just as I was about to get in my car as well and go. So thank you to my brother for sending me that text message right at the last minute to save me from going. But that game against Wigan, cancelled right at the last minute. And then it looked like, because we've got like 7 players out with COVID, it looked like we were looking at 3 or 4 games maybe could be called off. But instead of that, Oxford have chosen to play tonight. As annoyed as all the Wigan fans were, it was a brave decision, and one probably taken because they don't want a fixture backlog, and probably taken because they thought they could put any side out against Fleetwood and get 3 points. So very much a changed Oxford United lineup. Let's start with the goalkeeper. Connell Trueman came in emergency loan from Birmingham City. He's not really played much this season, but he has played league games before. So, you had to get somebody to come in there. And, so we saw Hansen at right back. You saw McNally and Long play centre-back, as said, and obviously the regular left-back. Kane, Henry, Brannagan midfield. Bowden, Holland and White took the centre-forward role. What does that mean for Dan Adji? I think we know what that means for Dan Adji. But it all worked out really well. A very good performance, performance that you can only be proud of your team from an Oxford United point of view, considering all the crap that's been around this week. And it did end Oxford United 3, Fleetwood Town 1. Let's just dive into this one. It was a fast start for Oxford. We're used to Oxford starting on the front foot and starting really well, and they did. There's a lot of energy in the side, a lot of pacey players, but everybody really took it upon themselves to start this game on the front foot. You saw the likes of Hansen, and I know Seddon usually does play high anyway, really making a point to kind of push Fleetwood back. But we got a goal from an unusual source. We got it from McNally's first goal for Oxford United from a corner as well. Very rare for Oxford to score from a corner, but good ball in from Kane, loopy header, and just kind of went in at the back post. But Oxford didn't rest on their laurels, and again, they really were all over Fleetwood at this point. Fleetwood offered very little, and Oxford got the second goal. Very nice build-up play from Oxford United. A ball came out to Brannagan on the edge of the box. He just had a touch to sort his footing out, and then just struck it into the bottom corner. A fantastic opening. I mean, one of the best starts to the season we've played, and a real credit to the players and Robinson for Oxford starting that well. And it didn't look like it could go wrong. It looked like we should have scored more. The likes of Holland looked dangerous and Bowden looked dangerous every time they went forward. Just the usual case of not being clinical. And you felt that the only way Fleetwood could get back into the game was by a set piece or a mistake. And that mistake did happen, and Hansen was involved, but it wasn't his fault this time. Sold a horrible hospital pass from Herbie Kane, and that led Mattetti to run in on goal. Kane did his best to try and tackle him, foul him. But Mattetti got in on goal and was able to toe poke it past Trueman. Looking at it again, I thought McNally could have done more to get across. Trueman will probably be disappointed with conceding the goal. It wasn't a hard hit shot, but it found its way into the corner. And all of a sudden, a usual thing for Oxford United, a very comfortable game, was all of a sudden nervy. And going into half-time, it was only a 1-goal lead, and it was 2-1 to Oxford. And a nervy second half, it kind of was. At times it was good, but Fleetwood sensed it. Fleetwood sensed they could get back into this game, and they were a lot better. And I thought Morton's really good up front for them. I remember a couple of years ago, he scored a couple of goals for Northampton. He looked a useful player, but Oxford were lucky that Fleetwood are just not a very good side, and that they've got players missing and they're out of form, and they couldn't really step on the gas and push Oxford back, because you sensed that Oxford were nervy out there and they were tiring, and Oxford were really having to sit deep and hit on the break. There were chances on the break, mainly fell to Gavin White, and he just couldn't, one he went clean through and he just hit a really weak shot. A brilliant ball by Brannagan. You thought White would just take it, go around the keeper, but he was forced too wide. And you just thought, you're just praying that third goal would come, and then it was a great third goal. It was Nathan Holland who picked the ball up, and sometimes he's guilty of doing all the hard work and the finishing letting him down, but not this time. He drove into the box off a great run and finished it beautifully into the bottom corner. And Oxford were 3-1 up, and luckily Oxford never blow 3-1 leads, certainly not with 10 minutes to go. But they carried on. You know, the effort was all there. I mean, Oxford made some subs, and McGuane and Adji, and Cooper came on really late in the game. And the players were tired at the end. The players were really knackered, some of them cramping up, and they got over the line in this one. And I don't think you can be anything other than impressed. Impressed with the difficult week they've had to come through, all the way from Robinson and the coaching staff, all the way through. The amount of bodies that were missing for the likes of Moore, the likes of Thornley, obviously Eastwood, and Stevens is out with a different illness. And obviously Taylor up front as well. The key important players were missing, but the players that were out there put in a hell of a shift and a very important win. Now, the only thing I will say is let's not think about Rotherham. That's a game for another day, because when I do think about it, it scares the bloody life out of me. But in this day here today, we were good enough to beat Fleetwood Town side, a side that we don't normally beat. So that was good to actually do it in front of fans before. Because I did thought if you beat Fleetwood with no fans around, did it really count? So, but now we can say that it does. And so enjoy that, Oxford fans. Enjoy it. Nice for Jamie Hansen to have a pretty good game in an Oxford shirt. And just generally pretty good run. I thought McNally was really good. I thought Long was exceptional. He really was almost like the captain out there today, wasn't he? I think they said that on commentary. Kane, other than that mistake, he just dictated the whole pace of the game. And we'll move on to Rotherham. We'll deal with it when it comes, but at the moment, enjoy it and hit like, hit subscribe. I'll see you soon for another Oxford review.